All right, real story time. It's like it's the end of the 70s. It's the holiday season, 1979. We're going over to my grandmother's house, my mother's mother, Junie Cakes. I used to like going over there because she had all the best shit. She had a pool table, had a fireplace, a German Shepherd named Tiger, the best cookies that you ever had in your life. The only thing that wasn't good about going over there is that she was always there, talking shit. That's all she did. She would tell you why you ain't shit all day into the night. Pretty as she wanted to be. She was like a young Lena Horne or Eartha Kitt or somebody. But the attitude, worse than Aunt Esther. So we pull up to her street, and I'm the first one out the car when we park. I run up the stairs. I bust into the house like I got a no-knock warrant. And over by the fireplace, I see my cousin Noogie Man. So I run over to him. Oogie Man. He stand up. We hug. I turn around. I say, Grandma, can we have some cookies? She said, go get some, you motherfucking heathens. So we get into the kitchen. And I'm like, man, I hate her ass. And Oogie was like, but she got the best cookies, though. I was like, you know that's right. Mouthful of food and shit. And then I heard a voice come from the back, and it says, I got better cookies back here. And it was my Uncle Skipjack. He never came out the back a lot. He stayed in there all the time. And so I said, man, let's go get some cookies. Man just looked at me like I was crazy. And he went into the living room. So I went through the beads, and I go back there, and the first thing I see is a poster of Burt Reynolds and shit. But it ain't the Burt Reynolds from like Cannonball Run or Sharky's Machine or something. Burt Reynolds is laying down on the bearskin rug, naked, chilling. And right next to that, it's a poster of the zodiac signs. But it looked like all other signs were made out of dicks or something. So I turned to the right. There's Uncle Skipjack laying on the bed, surrounded by all the goodies. So I'm just getting the ones off the edge of the bed. And he was like, nah, here's where the good stuff is at. And it's down by the penal region, right? And it's what the fuck is Famous Amos? It's Famous Amos cookies. I only seen those on TV. Those were nobody in the hood ever had them. But Uncle Skipjack did. And he was like, go ahead and get one. So I reach into the bag, and the back of my hand touched some shit. It wasn't a cookie. And so I snatched the cookie. I got up out of there. I went into the living room, and I guess my mother could see by the look on my face something wasn't right. And she says, what's wrong with you? And before I could say anything, my grandmother said, where'd you get that cookie? Because she had some wafers. She knew she didn't have them, the Famous Amos. And I said, Uncle Skipjack. They looked at each other and busted out laughing. Said, why'd you take your dumb ass back there? You know how he is. I said, no, I don't. And my grandmother said, now you do. And so they just started to laugh a little harder. Felt terrible. Went downstairs. Judy and Jackie's down there playing bumper pool or some shit. Man is looking at a Flintstones book with my aunt's name in it. It was like a specially made book with the Flintstones talking about a birthday or some shit or a party or some shit. And so somehow Judy and Jackie convinced me and Oogie to get into a fight. We get into a fight. We fall into my grandmother's trophy case. So trophies come crashing down on us. But before we can get from underneath the trophies, my grandmother is down there already like, get out of here, you motherfucking heathens. So I go outside, playing with Tiger. And so we started playing tag. And I was having so much fun. It was the most fun that I had all year and shit. But then all those cookies was catching up with me, and stomach was hella rumbly. But I didn't want to stop the fun. I wasn't interrupting that fun. So next thing I know, I had underoos full of poo. And so the game of tag turned into doo-doo touch, and I was it. So we had a great time. We get called in for dinner. So I go in there, and as soon as I walk in, Papa Gas was like, damn, what's that smell? And everybody pointed at me. My mother said, Arthur, go upstairs, wash your ass, and then when you get finished, go down to the car, look in the trunk, and get the belt. My grandmother was like, I got one right here you can use. My mama was looking super happy because she'd been getting whoopings with that belt since she was a kid. It's like my grandmother passed her the baton of ass whooping or some shit. I've only learned one thing from that day. If some shit happens to you in my family, you better keep that shit to yourself, because the ridicule that they're going to bestow upon you is going to make you feel worse than whatever happened. I haven't had a cookie since that day, and fuck Burt Reynolds.